evening and welcome to tonight's upload. My name's Emma. Make sure you subscribe for weekly vlogs. I also do loads of hauls. I will link some above and some below. And this week we have a different kind of weekly vlog because I've decided to focus it on work, 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 money, 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 money. I am going to be talking all about work. So I am going to be tackling some of the questions that you asked me on Instagram, on my Insta stories, and I also did like a main post, so make sure you go and follow me on Instagram. I am going to be talking about, today's going to be focusing on motivation. Let's ignore the fact that I'm in my pyjama bottoms. So we talk about motivation. We're going to be talking about management, we're going to be talking about mugs, we're going to be talking about meetups, we're going to be talking about money. We're going to talk about how I kind of like, you know, get over like that working mom guilt. We're going to be talking about all the things. Wednesday is a really good morning to get started because it's the one day a week that Stephen takes the kids to school. He loves taking the kids to school and I'm happy for him to do it one day a week because it means I get to start work a little bit earlier rather than doing the school run and kind of all that like very busy rushed morning. So that is why I've kind of like business on the top, party on the bottom. If I was doing a normal school run around 9 o'clock, it's just come up to 9 o'clock, I tend to come home and I have like a drink or I might have like a little snack or something. You will hear the washing machine's on. I'm just going to pause it, but I'll get back to snacks and drinks. That's one of the ways I stay motivated at home. Whilst I'm at home, I like to also have a little household chore going on as well. I don't know why, it just makes me feel better. But anyway, back to that. Usually come in and have like a drink, maybe grab a can of fizzy pop and take it down to the office. No more, because Philip's sent us a juicer along and I've been doing some juices in the morning. I find it quite hard to stay on track eating very healthy when you work from home. It's not so bad when you're in when you work in a school or an office. I don't know, you just, it's easy to keep on top of stuff, but at home it's not so great. So I'm kind of replacing my first morning fizzy drink with a juice. I've been trialing some, it's been trial and error. I've got some recipes off the internet, but I will show you how I make it. If you want any information about the Philip's juice that we were sent, go and take a little look below and come and watch me being all like chef-like. So I'm going to show you how to do that and then I will show you my office space in the home. It's going to be a good week, and especially those people who are nosy and just want to find out about people's jobs. Right, let's go and make a juice. In my green juice, I'm going to have celery, world's most underrated vegetable. It's my fave. Also got cucumber. I'm going to chop up an apple and I'm also going to chop up a pear to pop it in here. Pop them in. It's a very exciting machine to use. I don't know why it thrills me so much. And then the juice comes out here. Stephen and I had one last night. So I think last night I put maybe a bit too much celery in. So I've kind of, you know, adapting it for how I like it to taste. It's a really easy way to get some vegetables into your diet. So I'm going to chop these up and then make myself a nice juice. Right, so I've got all my bits and pieces that I want to go in my juice. I feel like I'm like a chef person. It's very exciting. Make sure you have this underneath because we don't want the juice to go everywhere. But it's really simple to make, and also with trial and error you can make stuff that you like. You know, you can kind of adapt the juices that you want. So we take off the little lid. This is the bit that's exciting. If it gets a bit loud, I might put a bit of music over the top. But are we ready for this, guys? Are we ready? Yay! It's 5 minutes. How quick and easy is that? And it's really easy to clean as well because we, by we I mean I made Stephen clean it last night because he had some last night. So here we go, my little green juice. Obviously you can make more if you put more, you know, if you've got more people to come around and you want to fill it up more. This is like about half a glass full because I've already had some, so. Cheers, chin chin. I feel like I'm getting some of my fruit and veg in, which is always an absolute bonus. So I am now going to take this down to the other end of the kitchen and chat as I set up my office for the day. So excited to bring you along for the journey. If you want to find out any more about Philip's juices, make sure you go and check out the link below. It'll talk all about the, you know, the one that I used, and it's just a nice easy way to kind of mix up getting your fruit and veg in. So right, off to work. This is where I work, next to a bin. Now I have got an office, haven't I? But sometimes it's a bit cold in there. I will take you into the office when we talk about mugs. So this is where I work at every day when I'm not in the office. It's the desk at the end of the kind of kitchen area. Working on the couch and working in bed is not good for me because I fall asleep, or sometimes sitting on a couch really hurts my back because I've not got a great back. So every morning I come out and I lay out my stuff. So whilst I'm laying out my stuff, I will chat about how I started this job. I started the blog 5 years ago and kind of did it alongside teaching. So I did the blog alongside teaching, which was fine for a while, you know, it was easy to manage. But then I started to get more and more opportunities with the blog, and it was getting really hard to manage with teaching, and it was kind of like getting to the point of, oh, maybe I should give up teaching to do the blog, or maybe I should give up the blog. It was getting to the point where I had 2 small children and it was so much work, I just could not keep on top of it. Then I hurt my back. I had quite a bad back accident. I'll leave a video below, and it meant that I was bedridden for quite a while. Fine now, don't worry guys. But it gave me like loads of time to think. So I was like, right, what do I really want to do? I love teaching, but I don't really want to give up this opportunity of, you know, like of a lifetime. So I made the decision to not go back to teaching. I don't think I will ever stop teaching fully. I fully intend to go back to teaching eventually, but for the moment I'm doing blogging. Can I just new zebra pen? For the moment I am doing blogging. Oh, also this is my bag. This keeps all my office stuff in, so I just have it at the end and then I can unpack it. So I will show you how I get kind of set up for the day here. Okay, so here are my office essentials. I've got the juice that I just made. I've got my MacBook Air, I've got my phone, I've got my hard drive that Stephen bought me, my glasses, because actually after I started working on the blog full time, it dawned on me, I needed glasses, who knew? And then the diary. Shall I talk about diaries now? Are we interested in diaries? Is diaries a thing that the people want to need? I think diaries are a thing. So I have 2 diaries. I have an online diary, which is really, 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 really good. I love my online diary. So if we have a little look here, it's just here, and it has all the different bits and bobs that I need to work on. I did not want an online diary. I was adamant I was not going to have an online diary. I was like, how dare you, when my manager suggested I had an online diary. But he was right. It's a game changer, because he can send me invitations to do work, so I know it's in there. I can send Stephen invitations and say, right, I have to be in London on this day. Could you do the school run? So it's in his, all our diaries are linked up. Well, mine and Stephen's diaries are linked up, and then mine's linked up with the manager. Also, you can print it off. So if you like a paper version, I have been able to print it off and put it up, and I can like tick things off it. It's just really, really good. It also comes to your phone, so that's good as well. I do have this giant diary which holds all the briefs in from brands I'm working with, and I will talk about brands tomorrow, I think, so you can kind of work out exactly how I make my money. And in this is just like a to-do list. So every week I write a to-do list. I can keep all like the briefs and stuff from brands I'm working with at the front, and this doesn't leave the house. This just stays in the house at the back, and it's just next to me if I need to make notes. Another way to stay motivated, so I have like my nice juice, I have the washing machine going. I also love podcasts. Podcasts have been a game changer for me, an absolute game changer. Because if you're working from home, or if you're working on your own quite a lot, it's just almost like having a friend with you. It's almost like having the office banter, but without an actual person. Because working on your own sometimes can be quite lonely, and that is the hard bit to motivate yourself. So podcasts are really, really good. I'll link them below. I always chat about the podcasts I like, so that's another really motivating thing. So I'm going to answer some emails, and then I'm going to come back and chat for a little bit about management and how they help me. You know, if you've got any other questions, leave them below and I will try and help answer them. But right, I've got to crack on because it's 9:10 and I've just talked to you lot far too long. I'm in the office. I've had to come down here because I've got to do some mug stuff. I've got some bags to send out. There's still a few left if you want some. So, shall I chat about mugs, part of the business? I love mugs, always love mugs. And I know a lot of like YouTubers do merch and stuff, and I thought, well, am I a bit too old for this? And I thought, no, do you know what? I love mugs. A lot of my followers love mugs, so it'd be a really good thing to sell. So if this is just like the kind of admin bit for people who are interested, I set up my shop on a website called Shopify. It's so cold in here, I've got the heater on, I'm about to put my coat on. Shopify, so that's where I sell my mugs via. I paid for like a website as well. So it's brummywummymugs.co.uk, so it's my own thing. I did get questions saying, oh, you know, how did you get help doing this? I just Googled stuff, and it is trial and error. The mugs have been an interesting thing because sadly the first time we did it, a lot of mugs arrived smashed. No, actually that's not true, not a lot of mugs, like 20 mugs arrived smashed. So I obviously had to replace all of those mugs, and then the last time around a few mugs still got smashed, but we've learned how to wrap them a bit better. So it's real trial and error. There was one time where on the website everything went a bit wrong, so people ended up paying too much, then I had to try and give them not discounts, like refunds. So a lot of when you're working for yourself, from my perspective, has been trial and error. I haven't really got many people to ask. I've got like a core group of you know, friends who I can chat with that are bloggers as well, but yeah, it's been a learning curve, to say the least. Everything's a bit of a learning curve when it comes to working by yourself. Whilst I am getting these mugs, because I do meetups, and I'm going to take you along with me on Friday. I'm going to take some mugs to the meetups to sell, because it'll be cheaper for people because they don't have to pay the postage and packaging, and also they won't smash because I will have them with me all wrapped up. So that's my plan. I think Nanny Sam's going to sell them for me. Right, management. The last little segment of the day. So last year I was approached by Paul from a company called OPTIMUS TALENT. We're like a manager, and I was like really umming and ahhing because I've worked on my own. I'm just lifting my air freshener up. Because I've worked on my own for such a long time, I was really reluctant to work with somebody. We did a trial when I was like, I'm not really, you know, I don't really know if I'm gonna like working with somebody. But it has been great because they don't have any input. I don't know if other managers do, but my managers have no input into the content that I am doing. So he has no idea what is in a weekly vlog until he watches it, unless it's like a brand thing. He doesn't have any, he doesn't know what Instagrams I'm posting. He doesn't care that I'm dancing in my tights. For me, a manager, let's use the example of a brand, let's just call them Mug. So Mug will come to me and say, hi, we'd really like to work with you on this project. And I'll be like, thanks very much, Mug. Could you go and speak to Paul? And he will negotiate a price. And then he will chat with them, and they'll go back and forth and come up on a, you know, for a good kind of price that they will pay me. And I'll talk more about brands tomorrow. And then I will go back and say yes or no. Sometimes brands come to me and they're just not my cup of tea. And Paul will say, do you want to do this? And I'll be like, it's just not for me. So he'll go back and say no. Because I'm always really conscious. I only ever want to do stuff that I would actually use. And I get offered loads of stuff that I say no to. He does the invoicing for me. So all the stuff that kind of like was the admin based stuff, Paul and Grace do. Because it means it gives me more time to like create stuff. So I'm really thankful for that, because invoices are really difficult to get paid. If any of you are self-employed out there, actually getting paid sometimes can be quite difficult. So if you've got somebody that can help you like chase them, and it is really helpful. So I hope that clears up the management. Let me know. He takes a portion of anything I earn. Anything to do with mugs, he doesn't get any profit from. He doesn't get any profit from like my YouTube views, but anything that he's kind of worked on, he will get like a percentage of, that's how they earn their money, the percentage of the fee. So, right, I'm gonna go and get these mugs ready. I'm gonna get some bags ready to send out, and then I'll see you tomorrow, and I think we'll probably have a little chat through brands a little bit more to give you a bit of an insight. So I'll see you later, alligator. Hey, it's Thursday. Let's try and move you back a bit so you can see, like, otherwise that's just not a great shot. I think I'll have to crouch. So what I thought I'd do is chat to you about money, because I know that's why some of you will be here whilst I get ready for a day. Just get ready for a day. Here's starting to pack for New York. I'm going to do a come pack with me, and I bought a new toiletry bag. Oh, that's like the most boring information. And I bought a new toiletry bag. If I don't think I've done a makeup thing. I did a skincare one. If you want me to do a makeup one, let me know. Or maybe I did, I can't remember. So let me know and I can do one sharing my products. Okay, so money. What I thought I'd talk about is how I earn my money, and how long it took me to start earning money from blogging and stuff, because I do get quite a few emails that will say things like, or don't actually say, hi, I'm a mom and I really want to work from home and I want to know how to make money as quick as possible. And I'm here to say, from my point of view, it's not a quick thing, unfortunately. You couldn't like give up your full-time job and then make loads of money within 2 weeks. It doesn't work like that. So I started blogging 5 years ago. Probably it took about 18 months to start getting gifted things, and even then the things I were gifted would be like real low monetary products. So I remember I got a hose. Stephen was really excited, and you can't pay bills with a hose. So probably after maybe after about 2.5 years or 2 years, I started getting money. So you might have got like £70 for something, or £50 or £25 here or there. So again, not loads of money. So obviously this is my full-time job now. I've got a load more time and energy to put into it. So money. I make roughly around £500 to £1,000 a month on YouTube. So when you see people that do just YouTube as a job, it's quite hard to make like a full-time wage from YouTube. For me, anyway. I need a certain amount of money to like pay for bills and mortgage and stuff like that. The next avenue of money, which is a new one for me, is I do my mugs. I'm not gonna lie, guys. The mugs make me hardly any money. By the time I have paid for the packaging, and also for, because I did postage and packaging on the mugs, if you've ever bought a mug, but I didn't actually include packaging. It was just posting, so I didn't allow for bubble wrap. I didn't allow for like the stickers, the card. It's a whole thing. And then obviously give the money to charity, which is really brilliant. And then some of them get broken, so I have to replace them. So the money on the mugs is not a vast amount of money. That's done really more kind of because I love it. Like the first mug round I did, there was me, my mom, my friend Rachel, and Stephen. So there was like, say like 4 members of staff did it. It took, oh, I've just got a message from Rachel. It took like over a week to do it. So if you worked out per hour, oh my god, we were probably on like a pound an hour or something. So yeah, mugs. Now the main way that I earn my money now is through brand deals. So I'm not going to talk about specifics, even though I'm sure you'd love me to. But the main way I earn my money is via brand deals. So quite simply, I think I explained it yesterday, you will have X come to me or my manager Paul and say, we'd really like to work with Emma and we are willing to pay so much money. They might want an Instagram, they might want a blog post, which I'm not a massive fan of doing. I don't do too many sponsored blog posts. Or they might want a section in a vlog, or they might want a full video. They're kind of like the main things that I do, or like sometimes they might want a tweet as well. So they will come to me and say, we'd really like Emma to chat about this new product because we think it's really good for her audience. Some of the things, are not good for my audience. I have to turn down quite a lot of work, and it's really hard because sometimes there was one, I will tell you this, there was one that was £15,000, which obviously for me is like a vast amount of money, and I had to turn it down because I know you lot would have just been like, hang on, this isn't something that Emma would really like do. So I do have to turn down things ever so often, like waist cinching, plastic surgery, vaginal rejuvenation, all sorts of strange things. So when I do stuff, it's the brand will come to me and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's quite nice. And then they'll say, we'd like to pay you X, Y, Z. And I might go back and say, well, I'd quite like a little bit more money, or I can offer you this instead. And then I think a lot of you probably think that you're given something, you just go, buy this, ding. But for me, that's not how it works. It takes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes over the course of a year. I think I put too much foundation on. Sometimes over the course of a year to work out what you're going to do for this brand. So then you do it, and then you send it to them, you know, and hopefully they come back and go, that's great. But a lot of the time they go, could you just do this instead, or could you do this? So you kind of tweak it, and then you upload it, and then my manager chases for the invoice. I hope that makes sense. So I make money for YouTube views. I make money, hardly any money, for my mugs, and I also make money via Instagram, Insta story, Twitter, YouTube, and the odd blog post. I will say in 2019 I have been a bit I've cut back a little bit. So I don't know if there's too much information. I don't even know if you're really interested in this, but I only like to try and do 2 Instagram ads a week. I only want to do like 2 sponsored videos a month, because I'm really aware that not everybody wants to watch sponsored stuff. And also the reason why I went part-time teaching was to be a mom. So whilst this is my full-time job now, I still do want to have the ability to be around for my kids whilst they're really little. I hope that makes sense. For some unknown reason, I'm worried that people are going to judge me, but I don't know what you would possibly judge me about. Me saying that I want to be around for my children. I'm not sure why I think you judge me. That's kind of how I do it. It's been a real learning process, and before I had my manager, I had to set up my blog, and I will leave some links for like videos and how to set up a blog. I had to set up my blog by myself, my YouTube channel, all my social media. I had to learn how to invoice people. I had to learn how to chase invoices. With regards to my shop, I had to learn how to set up a shop, work out how to get the postage. So it is quite a lot of work. It's really enjoyable, and I know I'm really lucky, and I know this is not the hardest job. Like teaching was harder, like nurses and doctors and stuff like that, or you know, people who are in the army, or even just like super hard office jobs. But I'm kind of proud of myself that I managed to do it all on my own. If you have any questions, specific questions, please do answer in the comments. The last little thing I will talk about with money is this year. Now this is really adulting. I have got an accountant, and I've also gone for a financial advisor, because for me, aged 41, I need to get back into paying into a pension, because I had a pension when I was a teacher, and then obviously I left teaching, so I really need to start paying a pension and thinking about all those grown-up things. I have to collect all my receipts, and before, like, Stephen would do my taxes, because he's a good egg like that. He's really good with maths and things, but unfortunately it just got a bit too much for him, so I pay somebody now to do that. So yeah, actually talking about it, it is crazy how just something that I started sat in my bedroom has grown to something where I'm thinking about pensions and invoicing people and working with hundreds of different people during the week. It's really good. I advise any of you, if you want to get started, do it. If you're young and you are at college, you could do it kind of alongside college. I wouldn't advise anybody to give up their job to start it. But if you've got a part-time job, it might be a good thing to do alongside it. I hope that all makes sense. As I say, leave any questions below. Side note, I've been listening to the Real Housewives podcast and it just brings me such joy. And second side note is, anybody seen the R. Kelly documentary? It's on crime and investigation. You can download it on Sky. Oh, watch 2 episodes. It's tough. Do you know what? Shall I tell you what's really tough? Because as I was watching it, I was thinking, oh, you know, this is awful. And then it dawns on you that this man is still alive and is still walking around and isn't in jail. It's like a crime series about somebody who is still allowed to be living in the world. It's bizarre. It's not like the Ted Bundy things or anything like that. It's like he's like a real person. It's really tough, but let me know if you watched it. Also, second Shane Dawson isn't up yet, and that's up next week, so we can chat about that then. Hope that all helps. Tomorrow I will go to my meetup, so I will show you a bit about my meetup, and I'm going to go and get ready for the day. I love you lot. See you soon. We're not really early, it's Friday, so today I'm dropping the kids off at school. I'm really hot, but this big coat on and I've got a massive cardigan. And I'm going to do one of my mummy meetups, and I will come back and explain later when they got started and why I do them. But I'm dropping the kids off and then I'm rushing to the think tank to go meet Nanny San, who often comes with me. Yeah. She usually comes with me. Stephen came to the last one. So I will see you. I'll do a little montage of the meetup. So if you're there, thanks for coming. If you weren't there and you want to come, I'll leave a link below. Right, take these 2 to school. We're running late. I forgot to film any footage. So whilst I'm talking, I will put a couple of pictures over the top of this. What a useless vlogger I am. I was having so much fun. So the meetups are something that I organised. I'm gonna check, but I think it was 4 years ago, because professionally clean the lens, because I was super lonely with a baby and a toddler, and I just thought it's so weird because like life's so different now, but the 4 years ago I was off, it was lonely, and I was like, do you know what, I am going to ask some people to meet me in a park, and the local newspaper put it in, and that's kind of how it started. The first year I did a few, the second year I did it every month, and now I kind of do it every other month. And what's the good thing about it now is, like, we went to the think tank today. The good thing about it now is that somewhere really nice will come to me and say, like, we want to host your meetup this month. And then, so these moms who maybe haven't, like, got loads of money for a nice treat, or perhaps just lonely, or perhaps just want to get out of the house, or go there. Sometimes they bring their mates, sometimes they come on their own. It's just like a really nice place. We get to have a chat. Sometimes the brand might, like today, the think tank in Birmingham did like refreshments. And for me, from somebody who went as teacher as a career, which I thought was like really worthwhile and good, and going to this career now, which sometimes I think is a bit shallow, it makes me feel better that I'm doing something good. I get to meet loads of new people. I get to have a nice time. My mum comes along, and this combined with donating some of the money from my mugs to charity just makes me feel a whole lot more settled with the fact that sometimes I get sent free stuff that I don't really need, and I get to have all these fantastic experiences. That is that gobbledygook, or does that make sense? I don't know. I hope it makes sense. So I've covered my management, I've covered like mugs, I've covered meetups, I've covered motivation. Oh, I think the last little topic we'll chat about, which I haven't covered very much, I've got a new cardigan, just a complete side note from Peacocks, it's so nice, is working mom guilt. When you become a mom, you feel guilty continuously about a variety of things, and working is a really weird thing. I've been full-time, I've been stay-at-home mom, I've been part-time, and now I am freelance. So I've done all the kind of combinations. And I can promise any mums out there, no matter what you do, there is some there is some element of feeling guilty. So when I was full-time, I found it really hard dropping Erin off at nursery. I used to drive to work crying. I remember I used to have to do parents' evening, so I wouldn't be able to put her to bed, and that used to really upset me. When I was a stay-at-home mum on maternity leave with the 2 of them for a year, I found that really difficult because I found it really lonely, and also sometimes for me, being with my children, I found it didn't, what's the word, not motivate me, it didn't kind of challenge my mind. I know there's some women that love being at stay-at-home mums and smash it, and it is so difficult. Part-time work is hard because you go in and you're not a full-time member of staff, so sometimes you're not respected as much. You kind of miss out on meetings, and I was replying to emails on my days off, so that was really tough. And now freelance is brilliant because it means I get to do the school run, which is such a privilege, even though it drives me mad sometimes. But also it does mean that some weekends I have to work, sometimes I have to go to London, and there is always that element of guilt. And I think the only thing is, one, you have to embrace it. If you didn't have sometimes feelings of guilt or sometimes feelings of missing your kids, I think that would be the weird thing. I think it's weird, it's okay to feel those things. And also I think if you're trying your best, you're always being a good role model. So if you're a mum that stays at home with your kids, you are showing the characteristics of like patience and love and tolerance, which I do not always have with patience. If you are a full-time working mom, you're showing your kids that you are willing to work super hard to get them what they need, whether it be pay the bills, whether it be doing food. Whatever you do, as long as you put 100% to it, I think you should try not to feel too guilty. You always will feel a little bit guilty, but the working mom thing is quite hard. That's why I tend to not go away quite a lot, which I'm trying to work on, because I don't like leaving the kids. When I went to Denmark for Lego last year, I was away for 3 nights, and first night was meh, second night was fine, third night I was like, I need to get home to my babies. It was really hard. So I'd like to know what any of your situations are. Do you work full-time? Are you part-time? Was your mum kind of working full-time and you a little? Let me know. Let's start a little conversation. And I am so sorry I forgot to film at the meetup, but hopefully I'll have popped a couple of pictures. I'll put a picture of mum. Somebody asked mum for a selfie, Nanny Sam for a selfie, and she just loved it, which really, really, really made me laugh. So this video has been a bit different. I hope you've kind of got a good impression of what I get up to work-wise. So it's a lot of doing brand work and filming vlogs. I issued a blog post at like 6 o'clock last night because I write blog posts as well. Taking photos for Instagram, which often I have to do at the weekend, and Stephen has to take them because it's hard to take a photo of myself without my big arm in it like that. Like I'm trying to do a brand and there's like a big arm. So Stephen does those at the weekend. I hope it makes sense. A bit different from my usual vlogs. Next week will be like back to normal. It's going to be kind of a come back with me weekly vlog hybrid. So whatever you're doing this week, enjoy it. If you've got any questions about blogging below and vlogging or anything, just ask and I will happily help within reason. Don't put like, dear Emma, I would like to know exactly how much money you earn, because it's rude. Because quite frankly it's rude, and I wouldn't go and ask anybody that in the street because it's just rude. So I love you lots. See you soon. Bye guys.